So it turns out that not only is the slow cooker my wintertime best friend, but it's also my summertime best friend. We have 3 recipes for you, new ones to me, that are super delicious, not gonna heat up your kitchen in the crock pot. This is a tropical pulled pork recipe, which is like so summertime, right? Super easy, super pantry friendly. I'm actually making this during a pantry challenge. I've got 2 tablespoons-ish of tomato paste in here, and mine's defrosting because I pulled it from the freezer. You want about a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I realized I am out of soy sauce. This is all I got, so we're gonna use what we have. 1 8-ounce can of either the crushed pineapple or these are the pineapple tidbits. First garlic powder I've ever purchased. Do not get the garlic powder from Whole Foods. About a teaspoon of garlic powder. I think you want the garlic granules, but usually garlic powder is granules, so I don't know. It just gets everywhere. And 2 teaspoons of ginger. I often just use dried ginger, but I did find mine in the freezer, thank goodness. Give this a good mix. This is gonna be our sauce. Simple, delicious. We're gonna reserve a 1/4 cup of sauce for later. In here, I have about 1.5 pounds of pork tenderloin that I took out of the freezer. You could probably really easily do this with pork loin, or you could even do this with chicken. So whatever you have on hand, it's gonna be delicious to kind of shred up. I just happen to have pork tenderloin. We're gonna cook this on low for 4 hours. So I just got home and this has been sitting on warm for a little while, but it's obviously shredding right apart. I tasted it, the flavor is really, really good. I think if I had the ability to, I probably would, pull this right out when it hits the 4-hour mark, because I think it would be a little bit more like tender, but it still tastes really good, and we're gonna put it in sandwiches. I did cave in and pick up some coleslaw mix at Target for 99 cents because I just love like coleslaw on my sandwiches like that.
I can't be quiet.
But yeah, we're just gonna shred it up, and I'm gonna make those rolls, so I gotta hurry up on that, and then it'll be good. Also want to pour the sauce that you set aside in here. Just kind of like a fresh coating. So I serve these on hamburger rolls with just some coleslaw, with some homemade coleslaw dressing, super easy, like mayonnaise, vinegar, that kind of thing. And it was absolutely delicious. But this would taste really good in a taco or in like a bowl with some rice, or just as it is on its own, maybe a piece of like cornbread or something on the side. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, it's Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday, as been requested by Julian. So we're gonna do some tacos. I took out some beef from the freezer. We're gonna try and make this super easy and keep your kitchen cool in the summer. I have a ton of spices on these. You can see this is even still like a little bit frozen. I'm gonna try and get it mixed up real good. We're not gonna sear them. You can sear them, but because it's hot outside, we're just not gonna do that. And I think that that's better approach. It's gonna taste fine because we're gonna do it in tacos anyway. For the spices, it's a lot of spices. We've got a tablespoon of chili powder, a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of salt, a 1/2 tablespoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder, a 1/2 tablespoon of smoked paprika, and then 1 teaspoon of coriander and 1 teaspoon of white pepper. You know what, we actually want about a teaspoon of oregano as well. So this is just chopped up beef chuck. So if you just have like a chuck roast, you can just chop it up and put it in. You just wanna make it into smaller pieces. I have about 1.5 pounds, but if you had up to like 3 or 4 pounds, you could use the same amount of spices for that. So it's not gonna be a big deal. And it's just gonna be strong in flavor. Like I said, we're doing tacos, so it's pretty forgiving. Got a can of diced green chilies. It's funny because I was making something, just 2 days ago, and I was like, I don't have any. And I looked, I swear, like when you look exactly where you just looked, and there it was. Like, there's the diced green chilies. I'm like, that's exactly where I looked, and I didn't see them. So weird. 1 cup of salsa. I just have Chi-Chi's mild here. You can use whatever your favorite is, whatever you have on hand. 1 cup beef broth. You could use beef bouillon too, like the cubes. I would actually do 2 cubes because You can actually use like extra in this. I just don't have any cubes. I happen to have this on hand, which I was like, how do I have beef broth on hand in a container? It must have been on sale or something a while back. 2 tablespoons of lime juice. You can use fresh lime. I happen to have this. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Also realized I didn't have any in the freezer. I just went through my freezer. So I'll be taking this and freezing the rest of it so that I can use it in the future. And 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I'm gonna give this a nice stir and cook this on low for 8 hours. So these have been cooking for about 8 hours, and you can see how they just are shredding right up. I mean, I'm gonna take some time to shred them with both forks, but they are pretty much falling apart. The flavor is delicious. You can use this on anything. You can do this like just over rice. We're gonna do it in taco shells, but it doesn't matter. It's delicious. Really great way to use beef stew meat in the summer. This was absolutely out of this world. It was so good in some corn tortilla shells. I think the kids even just had like flour because that's what I had. But we did a little bit of some avocado with it, sour cream, salsa, whatever you like on your tacos. But the flavor in this beef is absolutely incredible. This is a serious way to elevate your Taco Tuesday. Next up, we're making some barbecue chicken drumsticks. We're going to start these out in the slow cooker, cook them most of the way, and then just crisp them up on the grill. So I love a recipe with drumsticks because they are pretty much the least expensive cut of chicken, especially in the summer. I want something easy to make. I love barbecue chicken, and I love saving money. So we could keep it simple and just do them with barbecue sauce. That's quite delicious. This recipe is a little extra though. Got Sweet Baby Ray's, but you can use whatever your favorite is or whatever on sale. The Walmart stuff's pretty good and pretty cheap. Kraft is also a steal of a deal most of the time. I'm gonna do about 1/4 cup of honey. I should have sprayed this down. I didn't. It like slides right out if you spray it with like a cooking spray. But I'm rushing, so when you're rushing, you're wasting sometimes. Do 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard and about 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire. Probably should have done this first, but I'm also going to do salt and pepper. Should have put it right on the chicken. You can obviously mix this separately. I'm just going to mix it all right up in here. Save on dishes. Get it nice and covered. And I'm a like broil ahead kind of I'm a broil after kind of person. So with these, I want to get the skin crispy. So I broil them once we're done. We're just going to stick them in the oven, or you could even just put the grill on high and do that if it's hot. It doesn't take very long, but you don't have to worry about cooking them all the way through then, and they're going to be like fall off the bone good. I've read some recipes where it says to broil them ahead of time. I don't really know what the value in that is. If you know, or like you have a recipe that does that and you love it, post it below. I want to understand what the point of broiling ahead is, because it seems like it would get soggy after. You just want to cook these on low for 4 hours or high for 6. It's also kind of going to depend on your slow cooker, because mine usually cooks pretty fast, but because they're bone in, they do take a little bit longer. You definitely want to make sure that they are fully cooked to 165 degrees internally. And then once they are done, these are like fall off the bone delicious, and there's so much flavor in them. You have an option of either kind of propping them in the broiler. I know we don't necessarily want to heat up the kitchen, so I personally decided to put them on high on the grill, and it really just crisps them up perfectly. If you're looking for some more summer recipes to keep you cool, check out this next video. And remember, the next time you're on YouTube, make sure you're watching Meals with Maria. I was out of use. Now every day. Let me tell you about my best friend.